Okay, guys, hey, thank you for being on tonight. My name is Kara Harvey, and I'm going to be diving into our Vision Board Creation 2017 webinar, where I'm going to teach you some amazing tools to really jumpstart your year. I want to tell you a little bit about myself, and then we're going to kind of dive right in. So if you have a notebook next to you, something to write with, I think it's going to be the most helpful for you to jot any things down. But don't worry, because I will be posting a recording of this in case you miss anything at all. But I want to talk a little bit and start with why vision matters. I was someone who had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I kind of decided that I was just going to kind of fly by the seat of my pants. And, you know, I always had wanted to be a school teacher. So I was just going to do that and see where my life took me. And I loved teaching. But after doing it for 8 years, I became super burnt out. And I realized that I wasn't doing anything but teaching. My entire life was 60 hours a week at school. Then I would come home and do lesson plans. Then I would work on the weekends. And I was feeling very unfulfilled. And it was because I had no real vision for myself. You know, I had set goals before, but never really took the time to act on them. And this, you know, quote on the left really hits me, but if your goals aren't written down, they are just your dreams, right? And it's okay to dream. It's okay to dream big. But until you actually sit and you take the time to write things down, you will start to see all of these sparks. And my hope for you is that by the end of this webinar, you not only feel super pumped about 2017, you have an idea of different parts of your life you want to improve on. You know, not make perfect, but just live a life that you love just a little bit more every single day. But you also have a really cool tool and a system that I'm going to show you how you can absolutely for free make a super cool vision board that you can put in front of you and really dream about this life, okay? And it says on the right, Bo Bennett says it, visualization is daydreaming with a purpose. And I know that, you know, I do my best thinking in the shower. I don't know about you, but I have times where I'm up there and I'm washing my hair and I'm thinking, this would be amazing if I had this in my house, if I had this in my finances, if I had this in my health and fitness, if my life was a certain way. And until I started using visualization and making these vision boards, I kind of didn't even tack any of those goals. They just were dreams. And I decided a few years ago that I was going to make these vision boards and I was going to write down the things that I wanted and put them into the universe. And once I did, guys, let me tell you, a lot of it came true. And it came true with a purpose and it came true super quickly. And so if you've never done a vision board, I'm going to talk a little bit about what vision boards are. And then what I'm going to do is dive in to how you can make them. And I'll tell you a little bit more of my story as we go on throughout tonight. And I just want to encourage you to make sure you stay on to the end because I have some super cool free offers that I'm going to be giving away, and I want to make sure that you get to hear about them. So make sure you stay to the end, all right? Okay, so I want to show you an example of what a vision board could be. So maybe you did this when you were a kid. You would take all your magazines and you would cut up your pictures and your words and you would make these fun collages. I know I had them all over my bedroom wall. But now I don't have the time, and honestly, I don't even know if people still read and get magazines in their house. But we do all have the internet, right? We have the internet, we have Google, we have this place where what we can do is we can come up with goals and dreams and we can put them on these really pretty boards so that we can see what we want. So if you were to look at this vision board, there's a lot of things you could see, right? You could see someone who's looking to be debt-free, someone who wants to improve their health and fitness. You can see someone who just wants to be maybe more happy and more relaxed and have more fun in their life, right? They have this amazing vision that they want to, you know, set out for themselves. And this is a board that I actually made for myself a few years ago, and I kept it. When I make vision boards, what I do is I put them as my background on my computer, and I want to be able to see them. And why I think this is important is because if you don't put your goals and your dreams in front of your face every day, you're going to forget about them. And I know that New Year's comes and we make these resolutions. But when you continue to just make resolutions and you don't put the visual and the vision behind it, you're just going to keep spinning your wheels on the exact same things over and over and over. So you may have made a vision board before, but have you actually acted on it? Have you put it in your face? Have you shared it and put it on your fridge and showed your family and the other stakeholders, you know, that are in your life what's important to you? Maybe not. Right? But when you create this vision, you can start to go after these things. I want to show you another example of one I made for my business, right? And this one has more words. As you see, the last one was all pictures. This one has, you know, a lot more words on it. It has thoughts, it has ideas, and it's okay that you have a mix of them. If you want to have just words and not as many pictures, that's okay too. But I encourage you to find a goal and decide what you want that's kind of maybe in the middle, right? Like of what would make the most sense for you. This one I made, and this is the one I made for this year, and it is the background of my computer, and I can tell you that so many of these things have come into fruition. And I want to tell you an interesting story. When I made this vision board, it was when I first became a mom. I have an almost 1-year-old, she'll be 1 on Friday, and I have no idea what I'm doing as a mom. And I saw this little picture that said the confident mom. I Googled it because that's what I felt. I wanted to feel like a confident mom. And I put it on this vision board. Now, I want to tell you, the next week, I went to the bookstore to go find a book for myself so that I could have a guided devotional. And I walked by a book called The Confident Mom with this exact coloring on it by Joyce Meyer. And it was this same book. I did not know it was a book when I put it on my vision board. But of course, I picked it up because I thought that was a sign. I had put it on my vision board, and there was this book that I was meant to read. And let me tell you, reading that book helped me feel so focused that I'm not a perfect mom, but I do feel confident in my skills every day because I work towards them. So the things that you put out there when you visualize them will come true the more specific you are, all right? So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna show you step by step on how to have an organized vision board. So there are 2 things that you need to make sure you focus on. One is your goal setting, and one is your priorities. So when you are going through and thinking about goals, you need to be super specific. Now, if you're looking for pictures of things, you might not find the perfect image, but I want you, when you write them down, to be specific, right? And I have put a timeline on there because there's a book called The 12-Week Year, and it talks about the concept of how we say we have these big year-long goals, and then what do? We don't work towards them, and then it becomes December, and we realize, oh my goodness, we need to work towards our goals that we put out there in 2016, right? Well, you don't want that to happen. You want to put a timeline that's a little bit shorter on things. If you want to pay off that credit card, give it an actual date. If you want to quit your job, give it a date. If you want to have a weekly date night, put that there. Be as specific as possible. Because the more specific and possible, the more that you put out in the universe, the closer you can get to exactly how you want things to be. And dream big. On one of my vision boards, I had this house, I remember, that I wanted. And it's this dream house in my head. And I still have it saved on my phone. Because one day I'm going to find that house. And that picture of that house is going to be what drives me into thinking of this big dream. And I'm going to tell you, when you tell people your big scary dreams, don't be surprised if they make fun in their own way. I put that picture of that house on my Facebook once, and I said, oh, I really want this. And I was surprised at the comments I got. It wasn't, wow, that's great, dream big, those type of things. It was, I wouldn't want that big house. Who's going to clean all that? You better have a maid, too big for me. And it was people trying to truncate my goals. And it was people trying to come at them and say that they were scared of my goals, so they wanted to make me feel like they weren't good enough. And I want to tell you, do not let that fear of other people or yourself sink in when you're making your goals, okay? Because you really can have whatever you put out there if you decide to put it out there. So make sure you dream big and you pick your goals and you make them things that you are going to do this year and make them have that timeline. So the first thing I'm going to suggest you do is on the right, I put a bunch of priorities, a bunch of things for me that are important, things like my spirituality, my health, my relationships, other dreams and goals I have, finances. And what I do, and what I'm going to encourage you to do, is set a 10-minute timer. And I want you to come up with one goal for each of these areas, okay? And this is gonna help you, instead of just like you used to do, flip through magazines so you see pretty pictures of a pair of shoes you want when you were a teenager, or you know, that dream body you want. I want you to be specific around what your priorities are. So these are my priorities. If you have other priorities, you can add them in as well. But come up with a goal around each of these. For my specific 2017, for my spirituality, I want to read in the Word every single day. that is a very specific goal. It's lofty for me because it's hard enough for me to find time to read. And you know, it is time bound, right? It's a big one for me. For example, for relationships, I always will put this on there. I would love a date night with my husband. And I'm gonna go even bigger and say, in my dream board, vision board, I would like one every single week, dang it. And I know that it is super hard to do, but it's so important for me that I date my spouse. And I think that that's something that's important for me. For my finances, I would love to be debt free, right? And that's my major big goal. But my goal by the end of 2017 is I want to have zero consumer debt so that I can start working on my student loans. And I don't know about you, but finances is one thing that really, you know, gets in the way of my other goals. So I make some big goals around all of these areas, and I'm going to encourage you to do the same. So if you're on your computer right now or your phone, take a screenshot of this slide so that you have it, or start writing down these areas that you can start to prioritize. And so by the end of that 10 minutes that you've set that timer, you now have 10 or more goals that you've started to dream and visualize and think about. And when you really visualize these things, when you close your eyes and you picture them every single day, and that's what I'm going to encourage you to do every day, to think about them. I read the book, The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, and in it, one of his things that he has you do in the morning is visualize your dream life, and it could be around any of these areas. And I've started to do that in the morning before I get out of bed. I picture how my day is going to go, and honestly guys, it's freaky how much it goes exactly like I picture. And if you picture it being a negative experience or a bad day or bad things happening, those things will happen to you. So use visualization, and it's going to help, because we're going to get some pictures going now. So I showed you some examples of vision boards that had graphics and had words, but what they do is they help you wrap your brain around what you really want, okay? You don't have to find your perfect dream house, because otherwise you'd probably be Googling for like 6 hours to find the exact perfect one. But you can have something as close, as detailed as you imagine. And then what you could do is, if you're going through Pinterest or Google and you find a picture of something that you like, take a screenshot on your phone, and then you can print it out, add it to your vision board. There's no saying that just because you make it once that it's done, okay? So don't feel like you need to get stuck in this land of perfection paralysis. I don't know about you, but for me, I often will think, well, I can't do this perfectly, so I'm going to do absolutely nothing. You know, don't get stuck there. I can't find this one picture of this dream car that I want, so I'm just not going to do any of my vision board. Don't stick yourself in that box, okay? Dream big, get as close as you can when you're looking for your graphics and words. And here are some tips on finding them. So when you pick your pictures, the number one time management hack I'm going to give you when you do things is to always put a timer on, especially when it involves going to Pinterest, so you're not sucked in to looking at a million things and then you feel inadequate about what you do in your life, right? Because Pinterest makes you feel like, wait a minute, I can't cook like that or decorate like that. What's wrong with me? So going to Pinterest or Google is going to be a good start, but put a timer on. I don't want you looking for one picture for more than 3 minutes, okay? So for each of those areas, if you just take 3 minutes per area, that will take you 30 minutes. Not a huge task. And say you can't make your vision board in one sitting. Well, you could go and you can make your list of goals one night, and then the next night you can put a 10-minute timer on and find a couple pictures and do it throughout the week so that it's completely done. Don't feel like you have to sit for 2 hours to complete this, okay? Chunk it out, put a timer on. I already kind of shared this, but you know, search for close but not perfection, okay? Nothing is perfect anyway. You can always change it, but look for something that is close enough for you. And then my recommendation is to do it on a computer. You can clearly do it on your phone as well if you want, but I recommend doing it on your computer and then saving everything in one folder. This way you're not searching around trying to find where it is, especially if you're like me and you are super busy and you don't have a ton of time to do things and you're going to do it over a couple days. If you don't save it, you're going to forget where all your pictures went, and then you're not going to be able to do it because you're not going to find it, and you're going to say, I'm not going to do it. I'll do it later. I don't have time. And we all know later does not always happen. So I'm going to encourage you, when you save them, to just call them what they are: car, health, finances. So that way you have an idea and you know where you're at, and then you won't forget where you left off last time, okay? All right, now I'm going to show you my 4 steps that we've talked about. And then I'm going to show you how to use one of my favorite photo editing sites that's absolutely free, okay? Once your pictures are all saved, we are going to use PicMonkey.com. Now, PicMonkey does not have an app. If you want to use your phone, there is a similar app called Canva, C-A-N-V-A, that you can use, but I'm going to show you how to use PicMonkey on your computer, okay? Not only am I going to show you how to put your pictures on after you've dreamed big, but I'll show you how to add in words, banners, fun stickers to make it pop and print it out. So I'm going to take you step by step. Again, I'm going to send this recording to anyone interested, but if you see something and you're like, oh, that's how you do it, take a screenshot. When I'm on webinars, I will take a ton of screenshots of things as I go because that helps me go back and remember it. Okay, so, excuse me. If you go to PicMonkey.com at the top, there's a couple options. The first one you'll pick is the Collage option. You can pick your pictures from any of these locations, but if you did what I said, you save them to your computer. Right now it looks like Santa because it's Christmas time, but it'll pop up with some pictures already in it. This is a sample template that you can use. So what you'll do is you go to add images, excuse me, and you will pick pictures. So I'm going to walk you through how I'm making a vision board collage with my daughter's pictures, but you can use any ones you have. So you see, I have them in a folder, Ari's pics, and I'm going to select the 5 I want. So yours will also look the same. You will go through and you will pick the pictures you want, and they will come up. The next step is you will go to this second box here. Now, these are a million different collages. Now, the cool thing with PicMonkey is that as long as it doesn't have a crown, that's the premium version, you can get it for free. So it has a million layouts to pick. Again, I'm going to go back to that time management hack of timer. Put a timer on each step. Don't spend more than 5 minutes on each step or you will get sucked in. And then you will feel overwhelmed and not do it. So you'll go and you'll pick which one that you want, and your pictures will be able to pop in, okay? So I've picked this one right here, and I went through and my pictures have uploaded. All I did was I took them and I would drag them into the spots that I wanted. So this is, oh my God, a little smush. This is all the pictures of my daughter. I kind of put her in here and I made my collage, all right? When you get done, there'll be a button at the top that says save. You're gonna wanna save your collage first, okay? If you do not save it first, you will lose it. And then you will hit export to editor and it'll be right up at the top. Once you get into the editor, this is where the fun begins, okay? So you'll have your pictures and now you get to be creative. Now, it took me a while to figure this out, so I wanna show you some of the cool tricks I learned in PicMonkey to jazz it up a bit. Again, don't spend hours trying to make it perfect if this isn't your thing, but spend a little time making it look nice because the more invested you are in, the more you look at it, you know, the closer you'll get to your goals. So I'm going to talk you through some of these cool things you have. Now, this first one are the overlays. These are things you put over your pictures. You have tons of options, including some banners, some triangles, circles, there's hearts, doodly hearts, some stars, and if you scroll down, there's even more. As you see here, again, this is not free because it has a little crown. There's a ton of things. So all I did here was I took a rectangle, I dragged it over here, and then you can click on color and you can change the colors, all right? You can pick any of these colors, and I want to give you a quick tip that I learned. If you click on this little eyedropper, you can click anywhere on your page, and it'll match the color perfectly. So if you wanted to do colors, there you have it, all right? So all I did was I added this little banner, so now I can type something on it. So once you've created your overlay, you're going to go to typing. So that's the T right here. These are the texts. Again, anything without a crown is absolutely free. So I picked my font. You can also upload your own. And all I did was I changed the color, I changed the size. Again, if you click right here on this little bar, the eyedropper will pop and you can match it to anything you want. And you can type in. So I put playtime with my daughter on my vision board because I want to have lots of time with her this year. Now, the next thing you can do is add a fun border. So there's rounded corners, there's a museum mat. This one's just a simple edge. And all I did, again, was I picked the colors that I wanted for the inside and the outside. I made it a little bit thicker. I played around with it. So see how it's starting to really come to life. It went from a couple pictures into, you know, this really amazing, visually stimulating picture, right? And that it is bringing my dreams and everything to life. All right. The next one's really fun for you, and this little snowflake, I think it changes what it's called, but this is where all the themes are. So right now they have some Christmas themes. You could put a Santa hat on yourself. Here I used the fireworks and added some fireworks in. I was able to add in a balloon. There's a lot of cool different things that you can do. I added in, I think it was the spotlight, so that this stood out a little more, and I played around with it. There are some other really cool things that you can do. There's some backgrounds. You can edit facial stuff if you wanted to do that, and some really cool micro imaging, all right? So you can create this awesome vision board with all of your dreams on it, and now you have it to save and to print. So let me go back. My recommendation then is to save this as a JPEG, so that you have it and you can go back in and edit it. You should have two versions of it now. So you have one that isn't edited and one that is. The one that isn't with the edits, you can go back into it and you can change those pictures around if you want. So, you know, that is always the one you kind of want to have if you have some new pictures you want to add in. But you want to save it and then make it the background of your computer, make it the background of your phone, print it out, put it where you're gonna see it. Because here's the thing, guys, if you don't put things into action, just a pretty picture that you made once is not gonna do anything for you. So not only do you need to print it out so you can see it, but now you actually have to start doing things. The law of attraction will bring things to you, but if you are not taking any steps to better your life, then it's not gonna matter. So you can't say you have this goal of losing 50 pounds, but you don't change any of your eating habits. Okay, you can't say you have this goal of making it to church every Sunday, but you never set an alarm to get up in time. All right, you have to put into action what you want, or otherwise, you know, none of it's actually going to come true. So pick one of your goals at a time. That's my recommendation. And pick the one that you think is gonna cause you the most happiness. The one that you think if you start it, it will be a catalyst for the rest of your goals, and start working on that one absolutely first, and it can kind of propel the others. So just remember, like, there is nothing that is impossible, right? When you really start to think about what you want in life, don't let anybody tell you you can't have it. Don't listen to that little voice in your head. For so long, I listened to this voice in my head that said that I wasn't enough, that I wasn't important, that I didn't matter. And I believed it. For 26 years of my life, I believed that I was just meant to be mediocre and average, and that it was silly for me to make big goals and big dreams, because those things only happen to the people I see on TV or the people who are showing their highlight reel on their Facebook, right? And that wasn't supposed to be me. And I started to work on myself, and in it, I started to believe in myself more. And I want you to believe that you can do it too. I want to offer up a couple ways to help you get started on your goals tonight. So I have a free personal development cheat sheet that if maybe one of your goals was that you wanted to start to work on your mental health, or you wanted to work on your confidence, or you wanted to believe in yourself more, or any skill that you have, you want to get up early in the morning, or you want to work on your time management, you can find a personal development book for that. And I've come up with a quick downloadable cheat sheet that you could get at bit.ly.com/findyourawesome absolutely for free. And it also comes with my favorite podcasts and personal development books, and some other goodies that I'll send your way. The second way that you can get involved is to join our community at facebook.com/group/findyourawesome. This is an awesome group of people who are just wanting to stop feeling like they have to be mediocre and ready to start believing in themselves. And we do fun little challenges, and I go live and I answer some questions, and it's a really great place to be. So come join us there. Now, this last thing, and if you're on the recording, you might not have absolute access right now, but I'm offering some stuff up for people who are on live tonight with us. I have just created a brand new free video series, Design Your Life in 10 Minutes or Less. The video series is going to talk about the things that I think are the most important, your priorities. It's going to help you identify what they are, learn how to find balance in them, and start to create this life that you imagine and this life that you dream. So it's really tied in with this vision board. And I'm gonna let you know that I am not sharing this link to get it with anyone until tomorrow. So until midnight, it is exclusive to anyone who's gotten on this webinar tonight. That is it. If you are not on this webinar, you will not have access to getting it. And I'm gonna offer some cool stuff. So for anybody who signs up for the 3-video series, Design Your Life in 10 Minutes or Less, tonight by midnight, you're gonna go into a raffle, and I'm offering up 2 really cool things that you could win. The first is an awesome planner by Dayspring that I will send you to start planning your 2017. It comes with some cool stickers, and you know, it's colorful, and it's just really great way to start planning. And it's the planner that I just got. I love it. I'm excited to dive right into it. The second thing I'm gonna offer up, and again, this is only for people who do it by midnight. So if you're getting on the recording, make sure you head right over and get this to bit.ly.com/designyourlifewithkara. I have an ebook coming out on 12/28. This book is going to be called Design Your Life, Time Management and Scheduling. And it is an ebook and a workbook that's gonna help you not only take those priorities that we're going to talk about and determine, but show you how to make a schedule based around them and calendar out your week so you're not just going through the motions, but you actually have time for all of your priorities and all of your duties, including things like date nights and housekeeping and time with your kids and going to work and all the things that you need, as well as time to build your life and your dreams. And I am so excited to share this, and I'm gonna be giving a free copy away to one person who signs up by midnight. Now remember, this is how you get entered into both of the raffles, okay? You have to go to bit.ly.com/designyourlifewithkara before midnight to sign up for the email series. It's gonna get you the 3 free videos and into the raffle that I will do in the morning. You have until midnight for those 2 free things, either the Dayspring Planner or the copy of my ebook that I will send to you when it comes out on 12/28. And don't forget, if you don't get the planner, if you don't get the ebook and you don't win it, you can get it on 12/28. So if you sign up for any of these things, either the personal development cheat sheet or the Design Your Life video series tonight, it's gonna give you first dibs and first access on my ebook when it officially launches, all right? So those are the things that you can do now. And what I wanna say, I'm gonna leave these up here and I'll post these links again over in the event page, but they're here for you. But I wanna say a big thank you to you. I wanna say thank you for being here, thank you for being a part of this, and thank you for your time, because I know it's precious. If this provided you any value, if you feel like, wow, I really have an idea of how to get started, I wanna ask you to do 2 things. One, I'd love for you to share the link to this webinar once I post it in the page. Share this with a friend. Share this with someone. Put it on your page. I don't even care. Share it, right? And what I also would love for you to do when you are done with your vision board, I want you to post it. Now, if you don't feel comfortable posting it on your personal social media, come to our group. Again, you can just search Find Your Awesome in the search bar on Facebook, or you go to facebook.com/groups/findyourawesome, and I want you to share it there. If you share it on your personal social media, use the hashtags #coachingwithkara so that I can see it. I want to see what you're doing. I want to see these vision boards going. And you know what? I'm going to throw in a second offer for anybody in the next week. So again, if you're listening to this recording, the offer might be over, but you know, for anyone who let's say from now until the end of this year, the end of 2016, if you create your vision board and you post it on your personal page and use our hashtag #coachingwithkara, I'm going to be doing a second raffle for another Dayspring planner, okay? So I'll be giving that one out for another person who shares their vision boards on their page. So that is exclusive to if you do it before the end of the year. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate this. If you have any other questions, over in the Find Your Awesome community, I'm going to be going live tomorrow where I'll be answering more questions about how to start to visualize and how to create this. If you have any technical questions about PicMonkey, make sure you're over in our group, okay? Because that's where I'm gonna be answering the questions, or you could post them right over in the event page. So I hope you guys have a really good night. I really value and appreciate your time, and I wanna say thank you. So have a good one, and I will talk to you guys very soon.